Hi, I'm Bill Santamore. I'm managing editor of Hospitals and Health Networks magazine. I'm here with my colleagues Matthew Weinstock and Hayden Bush, and we're going to talk about the January issue of the magazine. One thing I'd like to mention is that we've redesigned the magazine for 2012. We've freshened up the look and we've added some features that will make it much easier for the reader to navigate. And also we're going to maintain the solutions-oriented approach that we've always had, but we're going to sharpen that up by every story will end with a box basically that tells what the main takeaways are for that particular issue in that article. So I think that's a good step forward. So Matthew, tell us something about the cover story in January. It's about hospitals that want to remain independent but find they have to create some kind of partnerships.
Right, so the cover story, collaboration equals independence, is really about how independent hospitals are striving to maintain that independence without having to merge or be acquired by another system or hospital. And they're trying to gain strength through these loose alliances and collaborations. They're looking at traditional things like supply chain and information technology, but they're also doing it for clinical care and care coordination. There's an example of 17 hospitals in the state of Wyoming that have come together to advance the patient-centered medical home model, but maintain their independence from each other. It's a really interesting idea about how hospitals are beginning to partner, but still maintain some of that independence that they have.
And that's one of the themes that came up in my interview this month with Rich Unbenstock, the president of the American Hospital Association. We took a look at the beginning of the new year, the start of the CMS Accountable Care Organization program, and he talked about the idea that despite the fact that hospitals are in very different places and have very different structures, that everybody's going to have to get on board with accountability and with the idea that you're going to have greater integration and you're going to have to handle more financial risk. So he really framed it as kind of this new era that regardless of what your partnerships are, whether they're with the federal government or private payers or with other providers, that you're going to have to find some way to kind of move towards this idea of coordination.
Okay, and I think that plays into one of the other articles we have, which is a year-long series we're starting called Focus on the C-Suite. And it talks about how hospital COOs, in this case, are broadening their skill set. So they do the traditional things of looking at making sure the organization is high quality, that it maintains patient safety, that it has clinical effectiveness and good finances, but also that it comes to terms with the accountable care and working with more physicians and working with providers outside the hospital and helping the CEO and the Board of Trustees do the same. Then we also have a roundtable running in this issue.
Right, and that whole idea of accountability and accountable care weaves through most of the issues. So the roundtable is part of our ongoing coverage of Most Wired. And we recorded this at the Chime Fall Forum, so with a group of real high-level CIOs, and they talked about not just implementing IT for meaningful use and ICD-10, but also how they're managing their institutions' IT systems in the face of accountable care and value-based purchasing and all the new reimbursement models that are coming down the way and the pressures that they're facing in the IT world.
Okay, well, sounds like a good issue. I think it is. And thank you guys for participating.